and we're broadcasting. So, hello, welcome if you're watching this live or archived. And yes, we're going to continue with the Milton Valley Railroad today. ELO. ELO? Okay, ELO. Right. So let me just switch over. Start Trainz. It's nice and rainy outside today. By the way, if you didn't know, it's nighttime when I'm streaming this. Hey, I've put 2 L's in. Oh, so I mean ELO. Not ELO, but ELO. Right? Because usually if you put 2 letters after each other, phonetically, that extends the sound of the letter. Right, so this is what we worked on last time, the lake. I think either I finished the text string or I almost finished the text string. I'm just having a quick look around. I mean, yes, I need to put some of the darker grass, the longer grass and things like that in here as well, but and the river. Well, rivers, of course. But I mean, before I replace the track and add the trees. So hello. Okay, hello. Hello. Hi, on different Wi-Fi this time, so maybe laggier. Oh, well, I'm glad you could make it after all, Mr. W. Hello, welcome. Hello, how are you, Trainz? Oh, hello, Anthony. I'm good. How are you? Are you better? Hello, yes. This should be a bit closer. And hello to you too. Hi, yes. Okay, I'm happy with how this is looking at the moment. So now I can replace the tracks. Actually, since this layer was unlocked, I'll quickly merge it into the root layer and then I'll edit it. I wonder why they didn't give us a get object tool for the asset to replace with. For the assets to update, they did, but not for the other one. Right, so there we go. I think this needs to be a little bit closer. Either that or this isn't straight enough, which probably that's the case. Like this. I'm just looking at the gap between the tracks. That's okay. I'm better. That's good, yes. That's good. Trainz, you have the best route built in Trainz, definitely. A lot better than I could do. A lot better. Well, it's only experience. I have been playing Trainz, as you know, for many, many, many years, and it's only natural to improve at doing something if you do it over and over and over again. And besides, from what I saw, your route didn't look that bad. Yes, you didn't put any trees down, but that's because it wasn't finished. Yes, so from what I saw, your route looked good. Thanks. Yes, good. Right, so I've grabbed the dense, a copy of the dense forest. Oh? Wait, why did it deselect? That's strange. Trainz, correction. You and your family have been studying Trainz for generations. Ah, yes. Although studying only goes so far, and after a certain point you kind of have to get more involved with it, like in a more direct way. Because you can, for example, running. You can study how to run for as long as you want, but if you haven't ever run before in your entire life, and you start to run, you try to start running just from studying, then you will fall down. So, yeah. Who wants a copy of The Dense Forest? Going once, going twice. Shy Dice, Mr. W, my family has studied Trainz for 1 million... No. Wait, that is 100,000... For 1 billion generations. Okay, 1 billion generations. What is the average length of a generation? Sold to the man in the orange hoodie with an S on it in the last row. Oh, you mean that guy back there? Yeah, he's usually there. Don't mind him. Sounds like a horror game. So solid, I'm in. What, you mean the dense forest? It does kind of. Although, didn't you say that you didn't like horror games, even if it's just atmospheric and not violent? Try this. If you're studying, you have to get in it eventually. Now, I can say from school experience that that is not the case. You mean that if you have never run before in your entire life, and... Or do you mean referencing what you've said before? About 20 to 100. That is a huge range. But sure. Okay. Then that means that it's at least 20 billion years ago. So for at least 20 billion years, you've been studying Trainz. Not Trainz, Trainz. Which means the trains must have been, the knowledge of how to make trains must have been lost actually quite recently, since trains have only been rediscovered, well, recently as in the last few thousand years. Right, so now I'll grab the less dense forest. To be honest, I can't imagine either of you in a hoodie. Really? You've seen me in a hoodie before, the magenta one, remember? Years, yeah. I gotta go eat lunch. I'll be right back after. Okay, well, have fun eating lunch. I'll speak to you later. Try this. Yeah, Dense Forest sounds like a really awful and cheesy horror film. Yeah, you're right. Maybe that's the horror of it. Like, it's just so incredibly cheesy that it gets to the point that it's actually horrific. And that makes it into a horror film. Oh? Why is that? Alright, bye, enjoy lunch. 'Cause it's boring. Officially, I think I have a level 4 GCSE in Spanish. Can I remember anything from it? Hell nah. Yes. You're right. In so far that a lot of the stuff that people learn in school does not stick, and that's because you're not invested in learning it. It's in most cases, from people I've talked to, when they learn something in school, they have to memorize it, not because they find it that interesting or because they think they will be using it all the time, so they want to learn it, but simply because they want to pass the tests. Which means that after you've passed the tests, you don't need it anymore, which means you're not remembering it. Which I think is why I remember so many things, and that's because the things that I learn are the things that I genuinely find interesting. So, yes. Anyway, I'd be happy to hear your thoughts on that, actually. Shadows, maybe I'm just thinking with the hood up. No, I definitely had the hood up, because I wore that hoodie quite a lot when it was raining. So, Iguanodon, hey, I've got a new idea for an invention. I call it hoodie. Or hoodie, rather. Why? What's the joke there? Ostroraptor. Hey, it's called a train. I don't get that joke. Please elaborate on that, Kangofango. Shy Eyes, like a B-movie horror film. Yeah. Iguanan. Oh, yes, you're right. Train. By the way, how are you? Asks Kangofango to Mr. W. Yeah, I'm good. School's finished for half term, and I can't wait for the lions. Right. Yeah. I know how good that can feel. And how necessary it can be sometimes. That's nice. Shy Eyes. Oh yeah, I vaguely remember it now. Real men wear pink. Yes. Although, to be honest, yeah, I do genuinely like pink a lot. I think it's a very vibrant color. Same as lime and yellow and orange. Not the color itself, but in terms of how vibrant it is. Shy Eyes, never mind. I'm pretty sure there isn't any joke there. I'd love it if there was one, though. Oh, I see. So you just wanted to see how long it would take me to give up on trying to figure out the joke, or if I would think a joke into that without there actually being one. I've had my hood up before as well. If you say so. Yeah, I mean, he really ought to know. No, I'll elaborate. Okay. Also, by the way, speaking of pink, I have worn pink on stream before, quite a few times actually. Yeah. So, it's not just from the hoodie. Although that is more magenta anyways. Not the one on stream, but the hoodie. I know, really exciting conversation. Shy Eyes, can't say I've noticed, sorry. No, that's okay. I just wanted to mention that. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't really pay that much attention to clothes either. Yeah, mostly when I put clothes on, I think, oh, what's a nice color? What do I think looks nice? What do I want to wear? What do I feel like? And then I put it on and then I forget about it. And yeah. Unless, of course, I'm acting like on stage in costume, in which case I do pay quite a bit of attention to my clothes. Quality Twitch content. Sorry, hash quality Twitch. Hash quality Twitch content. Try saying that 5 times fast. Hash quality Twitch content. 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 I think that was 5 times. Maybe it was only 4. Not sure. I meant to say, Iguanodon, hey, I've got an idea for a new invention. I call it a train. Because we were talking about how trains were around a long time. Oh, right. But because we were talking about hoodies, I accidentally typed that. And then I had to improvise, bringing in the Ostroraptor to correct the Iguanodon. I know it might seem like there should be there really should be a joke in there, but there wasn't one, sadly. I see. Yes, you're right. It really does seem like that. Very good. Nice one. Good tongue twister. Did you manage it? Or did you not even try to do it? Nope. Not even trying. It's not that hard of a tongue twister. It isn't easy, but it's not hard. In terms of tongue twisters, anyway. Not yet. I see. Yeah, this is already starting to look much better with trees. Yeah, as it usually does. Try stay back, black cat. As the tongue twister. Stay back, black cat. Stay back, black cat. Stay back. No. Stay back, black cat. Stay black. Stay black, back cat. Yes. Stay back, black cat. Stay black. That's a difficult one. Stay back, black cat. 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 There you go. You just really have to mentally separate each loop from each other. Like reset your tongue between each attempt, but do it so quickly that you're still saying it fast 5 times or however many times. But you do have to reset your tongue and your mouth after every loop and try to forget what you had said before. Hehe, yes. That is a difficult one. Have you tried it, Kango Fango? If so, I'd be happy to hear your results. Because if you recommend one of these tongue twisters, if you tell me to try it, then you are obligated to also try it. That's just what the rules are. And by the way, so is anybody else watching. If you're watching live or archived, does not matter. Oh, we've got viewers without accounts watching, so hello. I'll just quickly check in here. And, oh, I'm back. Hello, Anthony. Glad you're back. We were just talking about tongue twisters and how everybody who's watching them has to try them if they get put in chat or if I say one. Shout Ice, I did it 6 times actually. Great. How about the other people who are watching with you, if there are people watching with you? Have they tried it? And if so, how well did they succeed? Hello, yes. This would be a great... If I was a typical YouTuber, then this would be a great time for me to say, hey, if you're watching this archived, try these tongue twisters and let me know in the comments how you managed. Did you manage to say it 5 times fast, 10 times fast, 3 times fast? Did you manage not to say it at all? Or did you manage to say it but on the second try? Just leave it in comments and I'm happy to read your comments on this matter. So please leave it in comments and subscribe and subscribe and subscribe and follow. No, follow is not a thing anymore. Sorry, no. Follows on Twitch. Like, yes. And then the video would go on for another 5 minutes and then that would repeat. And then for another 5 minutes and then that would repeat. And so on until the obligatory 10 minutes are over, which means that you can earn more ad revenue or ad revenue at all, I'm not sure, of that video. And then, well, yeah, be over. Some managed to do it. Hello. Hello. Great. Proceeds to never read the comments. I mean, yes, most of the time. Fridays, that's despicable. Hi. Yeah. Despicable. Yes, on the one hand, that's true. But on the other hand, I can empathize with them because I doubt that it's much fun on their part. And besides, if they want to earn a living with that, earn enough money, yeah, then that constant stream of videos they have to make in such a way to get as many views, as many reactions to try to grow. I mean, that must be a huge amount of stress. So I can imagine that they do anything that's, well, legal in this case, to try to make that easier. And if essentially begging for interaction from the community in this way helps that, then I can empathize with that. That still doesn't mean that I enjoy it from a viewer's perspective, or that I myself would do this in this current situation, because I'm not trying to do that. And but it doesn't mean that I can empathize with that. Showdice, that's true, but it's just so annoying. Yes, you're right, it is. But for these videos, the point of most of them is not for you to have a good time. The point, well, to a certain extent, yes, obviously, because otherwise you wouldn't come back. But the point is more to keep you engaged, so that you keep coming back, rather than actually making you feel good while you're watching the video. Yes. Can I spam the chat, please? I'd appreciate it if you didn't do that, unless you have a very good reason for it. If you have a good reason, then please type it in chat once, and then I'll decide. Okay, Showdice, I won't. Okay, I appreciate that. Right, so I won't do the long grass down here, because that's going to be the river. I will do a little bit of it up here. And yes, I do realize I still need to remove more trees, but I just wanted to do this now, so I can more clearly see where, basically how this will look when it's done. Maybe the sand is going a bit too far up here, considering how steep this is. Yeah, I think this looks much better. Oh, I gotta go, sorry. I have to leave streams a lot. I've been so busy. Okay, don't worry about it, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's good to be busy. Well, in some cases. If you have something that you really want to do, but you're too busy to do it, then that's not good. But if otherwise you were just hanging around bored, not doing anything, then being busy might be better. Unless you really need the time to basically hang around. If you put that into thought, to try to think of what you actually want to do and what would fulfill you, what would what would enrich your life, because in that case it can be better not to be busy, because then you're forced to be with your own thoughts, which is a good thing most of the time. So yes, watching videos like that just makes you feel like you're not really welcome in their channels. It's more like you're just helping someone make a living. It doesn't feel honest. It doesn't feel like they're asking for support. It feels like they're trying to suck every bit of support you could give to help them out, to help out of you. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, that's true. And the thing is, with some channels who are, like, for example, some I forgot the name. Some like small indie game channels who develop, basically where the developer has a channel and they post update videos and things like that, and they want to build a community for their games so that when they get released they'll make enough sales, which to be honest is kind of describing me to some extent. But in some of those channels, the developer at the end does ask for the support, like for wish listing on Steam and for subscribing for more updates and things like that. But that feels honest to me, because it is. Because in those videos, like in trailers, development things, the entire point is to market the product. So then at the end, to ask for you to help for you to help them with marketing is an honest request. All right, bye. All right, bye. Bye, and Shadice and Mr. W. Okay, see ya. Shadice, better than your streams? How? Better than my streams? I don't know what you're referring to. What did I say? I'm not sure what that is referring to. Names, please. Name names. It's all about tone and politeness, I guess. I think it's also about the content, because, for example, if it's okay, so if you go to the YouTube homepage and you look at the recommended videos, most of those videos are just so mind-numbingly dumb, so mind-numbingly unintelligent. Like, for example, a video that's titled one second, let me just it's actually not that easy to think of things that sound accurate. I mean, I can't even go to the homepage because I'm not logged in, and I wouldn't be able to view it otherwise, since YouTube introduced the new restriction where you have to agree to their data collection things, which I will not do. I mean, when I'm logged in, I have to, but not when I'm not logged in. Anyway, like, for example, the 5 new life hacks on how to deal with 5 new life hacks on how to deal with 10 Minecraft updates in the 1.17 update, or that the start of every word is capitalized, as well as no grammar whatsoever. And then okay, so it says Minecraft updates and life hacks, but the thumbnail is somebody with an extremely almost comically distorted face, which I won't do now. Of course, with an outline and huge arrows, red, pointing to something, and then on the middle you see like a cropped out photo of, say, a chainsaw, like a real life chainsaw, put on top of the background of a Minecraft mod pack screenshot. Yeah, something like that. And then yeah, and then you look at the video, and then it's all and then if you watch the video, and it's of course 10 minutes long, so the ad revenue, because of the ad revenue thing, and then okay, say it's 10 points, 10 different points, and then points just get repeated and repeated and repeated, so that, for example, in point number 1 that the presenter talks about is, for example, Okay, crashed aliens. Crashed alien ships that you can find underground in Minecraft. Yeah? So it's like, what if aliens are truly out there? And what if they have visited your Minecraft world without you knowing? They could be lurking right beneath your house. Until you have a look, you won't know if those alien ships aren't really down there. And this is an update that I think a lot of people want to see in the new Minecraft update, which of course doesn't make any sense, that sentence. And yes, these aliens, they may have come here a long time ago without anybody having noticed, and you don't know that they're under your house, and then just goes on like that for 5 minutes. I mean, more not 5 minutes, but like maybe 2 minutes. Well, actually 1 minute, because if it's 10 points in 10 minutes. But no, let's just say 5 points in 10 minutes, like 2 minutes. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And it doesn't have anything to do with chainsaws or the mod pack that's on the screenshots on the thumbnail. And the face of the presenter in the entire video doesn't get anywhere near to that level of emotion as depicted in the thumbnail. And then in the middle of the video, first at the beginning of the video, the guy says, "Hello and welcome. You are watching," and then the title of the video, and then so please subscribe if you don't want a spider to eat your ears while you're in bed. Yeah, subscribe and like the video for more of this content. Yeah. And then it gets in, and then halfway in the video, the guy says, "Which of these updates would you like to see in the new Minecraft update?" Or something like that, Comment down below, and let's see if we can get Microsoft to put that into the game. Even though the channel is so incredibly tiny, like it's only got maybe like 25,000 subscribers. He's essentially preying on little kids who think that they have a chance to get what their wish into the game if they comment. That's the people he's preying on. Yeah, and then the video continues. The next few points get dragged through the video. And, of course, a lot of zooms and cuts and motions and flickering back and forth and zooming in and scrolling and all those sort of things to keep everything moving, to kind of hide the boredom that is in this video. And then at the end, of course, the last minute or so is again a desperate plea to subscribe for more content, and then for comments to be left and for likes, so that the video gets shared more, and then those kind of things. And then again, of course, the call to action, people to write comments. Yeah, and then of course another links to other videos, like if you've check out these other videos on my channel, and then like that. And then, of course, since you clicked on one of those videos, the automatic autoplay that is by default on in YouTube automatically loads the next video, which, according to the algorithm, is similar to the one you've just watched. And then it's just an endless stream of basically nonsense that sucks away your time. And yeah, in that case, I would say that yes, that is dishonest. But if it's a channel who is presenting a very specific thing, like for example advertising their own projects, their own games for example, and then the presenter at the end requests that you join the community, gives you points, like what you get from that, like maybe that he's posting updates to his project, so if you are interested in the projects, that's a good way to keep in touch. Or just flat out saying, I'm trying to grow the community for these games for when they release on Steam, so so I would appreciate it if you helped get this video to a bigger audience by liking and subscribing. Of course, I mean, I say this now, but now, who I am now, I would not do that, because I still think that if the value of what you're presenting is worth people subscribing for, then they will do that. I mean, I may be mistaken, but because, I mean, I think I obviously am, because if it didn't work, then a lot of people wouldn't, so many people wouldn't try getting viewer interaction or reaction in that way. So it obviously does work on a certain target group. But I think that that is a sacrifice which I'm not prepared to make at this point. Which is why I have never asked for anyone to do any of those things in any of my videos. I just end the video, well, with the tutorials, just end with, and thank you very much for watching, and I hope it was helpful. And that's the end of the video, because that is true. If people like it enough to subscribe, then they'll do that. If not, then, well, they probably wouldn't enjoy my other content anyways, so, yeah. Yeah, so I think that is a case in which it is not, in which it is very annoying, but I think there's also a case in which it's not annoying. Now, let me read chat. It's probably been quite a while. Shy Dice, it was referring to you saying being busy might be better than just hanging around. So you say that watching my streams, where I attempt to present intellectual conversation while trying to show a medium where you might be able to learn something new if you're playing Trainz or other things, in addition to obviously providing entertainment, is just hanging around. I did not know that you thought of my streams in that way. That is interesting to know. I'm just joking. Shadows, also, you're right, but having so many people tell you that, to subscribe, to like, and to leave a comment, to donate, to whatever, sometimes you just can't tell the difference if you don't look carefully. Yes, that's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. I think a lot of people who are genuine about what they do are just so conditioned to act in this way in their videos because of the sheer number of other people who do it, that they just get from viewers, they just get sorted out with that bunch. I mean, for me at least, that is definitely true. That if I watch a video about something and I think, oh, this is kind of interesting, and then the person begs for interaction, like for subscribing, like whatever, then my opinion of not only the presenter and the video I'm currently watching, or even the information about it, but the entire channel, any other video that that person has uploaded, that content creator has uploaded, immediately drops. Yeah? It immediately drops, and in most cases, I just shut it off and try to search for some other way to gain whatever I'm looking for. Yeah? Simply because that is so oversaturated that exposing myself to that sort of thing has a genuine emotional reaction. Mainly frustration and well, annoyance, frustration. Which, if there are other ways that I can get what I'm looking for, I don't want to subject myself to, which is why that drives me away. So, yes. XD. 10 updates that you didn't knew came with update 1.17. Yes, exactly. It's... yeah, although no, not exactly, because you forgot an important thing. The capitalization. You need to make the first letter of every word capitalized. That is very important, because this way it just looks like a normal sentence. Yes, it doesn't make a lot of sense unless you really bend logic quite a lot. It really doesn't make sense, that sentence, but at least it looks like it makes sense from the capitalization here. So you need to change that. Ugh. Did you say mind-numbingly stupid? I think I did. Kangfango, better to say that 10 updates that you may not have known about update 1.17. That is better, yes. But still, calling features updates. The thing is, the game update is called an update because it brings the game as a whole up to date with the most modern, newest version of itself. But in the instance of that title, in titles like that, you're talking about individual parts of the game, so features. Which means if you say 10 updates that you didn't know came with update 17 or whatever, that means you're referring to individual parts of the game that are being updated, meaning that they need to already exist in the game, because if they don't exist, if they're new features, they can't be updated, because they don't exist. Which means that in that video, they logically could only list changes to already existing things, which is probably not what people click on that video to find out about. Yeah? But that's, people don't even think about it that way. So the proper way to form that would be 10 features that you didn't know came with update 1.17, or 10 features that you may not have known about in update 1.17. Also, you typed up there, Mr. W. You typed up there. Yes, but it may, I mean, there is just so much trickery going on with that. Because, for example, the number 10, it's a lot, yes. So a lot of things. So you think, oh, well, that's a lot. But it's not so much that they would actually, that it would be so long that people think, oh, well, that's too long, too boring for me to watch. And it just about holds people's attention for about 10 minutes, I'd say, if you list 10 different things. Second thing is using updates instead of features, because the game update is what people who click on that would be excited about. They want to know more about the game update. And so the word update isn't necessarily being used in its actual meaning, but rather symbolically to represent exciting new stuff. So that title actually says 10 exciting new items, so 10 updates that you didn't know about or that you may not have known about, which means, oh yes, it's probably new. Yes, you might have seen other videos, but they probably didn't tell you that it's definitely new. So even though you watched all of that other stuff, watch this one as well. And then, of course, again, update, whatever. Bring again back exciting new stuff. And then, of course, the title, which indicates that it's actually talking about the modern thing. So it's, if you think about it, it's actually really cleverly put together, and a lot of effort definitely goes into that sort of thing. I mean, the editing alone, it's just all of that effort is being put into such a manipulative thing, into such which is actually harmful to people watching it. And I say that because, well, one, of course, most of it is a waste of time, which means that that is time that you are alive and could be doing so many different things that you are instead spending to watch that video. And the other two main reasons are, one, that it dilutes information on the internet, not only about this specific thing, but in general. It dilutes the quality and the expected quality of information. And three, well, I would think, wait, no, that was two. 1 second. What was three? 1 second. I think I'll get it in 1 minute. Let's see. One, there was that. Three was, yes, of course, three. How could I forget? Number three is, of course, that it makes you turn your brain off. Yeah, and yes, I do realize that a lot of people probably go to YouTube because they want to turn their brain off. They want entertainment, so they just want to sit in front of their screen, watching a video without having to think about anything, just to enjoy the constant stream of superficial entertainment, to kind of shut off for a while. But the thing is that has been scientifically proven to be addictive, which means that you genuinely can you're genuinely training yourself to turn your brain off when you're watching any serious amount of this type of thing, which is also the problem with a lot of the things on television. Well, at least, I'm not sure how it's nowadays, but in the past. Which is why that is actually harmful. Yeah. XD. Or the entire title is capitalized. Yes, that also. But I think that if the entire title is capitalized, to me at least, is not as annoying as if only the first letters are capitalized, because if the entire title is capitalized, it's just clear that person really wants to stand out. They want to shout this thing at you in the hopes that you'll click on the thing, which to me seems more honest than... Because the other thing, if you just capitalize each word, that doesn't stand out that much better. It just seems so... I don't want to use the word illiterate, because that doesn't actually mean the thing that I want to say exactly, but illiterate in the way that you'd commonly use that word meaning as that, basically. So it feels like these people aren't even putting in the effort to properly capitalize their sentences, which I know isn't true because it's deliberate. It's probably a lot of work actually to do all of that production of all those videos, and to do it in such a way that it actually attracts enough people to support yourself with. But it just makes it feel like that. It makes it feel, well, it makes it feel stupid if you read it like that. At least to me. At least to me. I mean, in some cases, it's good to capitalize certain things, like in titles, like not video titles. Like, okay, if it's just a title, like for example, Grand Central Station, yeah? That is a title. That's okay, just capitalize each word, I'm fine with that. But if it is a sentence, that is the first word of each, no, the first letter of each word is capitalized. If it's in a sentence that's being spoken to you, like for example, 10 updates that you didn't know came with update 1.17. Yeah? That is a sentence. The person is talking to you, which means that capitalization plays an important part in how that is intended, because so much of vocalization gets lost with text, so that is a very important part. And then to misuse that in such a way, what it does is it makes each word feel important. And I guess, I guess that is working, because, well, a lot of people watch those videos. But it just feels like abusing writing and what we assume a certain way of writing means. It's abusing the trust that the reader places in the author of whatever was written. I guess the best way of putting it. But then again, that's what it's supposed to do. The rage is real. The rage. I don't think it's rage. It is quite a severe annoyance, but I wouldn't call it rage. I don't think that is worth getting into a rage about, because the thing is, with a rage, people tend to shut off. If you're raging about something, even if it is completely worthwhile raging about, then people will ignore you. It will be uncomfortable to listen to you, and people will just say, calm down, and while they're saying calm down, they're not listening to what you're actually saying, which is why that can be even more infuriating if people say calm down, because if you're actually raging about something, if you're shouting, then that thing is so important to you that you feel you must shout it to get through to some person. And if they just say calm down, that means that you're not getting through. They're ignoring what you're saying because they're just telling you to calm down, which then fuels your rage, which means that you're kind of in a vicious cycle until you either break it because you're too annoyed to continue and you just go away, you storm off, or you collect yourself because you realize that raging you're not getting through. Even though it's difficult, you cool down and you speak calmly with them in the hopes of getting through to them, or some other solution. But yeah, I don't think that was raging. Yeah, to the previous message. Alright, yes. Can I find out? Ad revenue thing? More like ad revenue cha-ching. Yeah, but to be honest, I don't think that people make that much money. The majority of people on YouTube probably don't make that much money with YouTube, via YouTube, because I can't imagine that doing that kind of work, and yes, I am calling it work, would be rewarding enough that people who make a lot of money would still do it in that way. I mean, that could be wrong, that could just be me. But I don't think that people who do sell out, as it were, on YouTube actually earn that much money. Sorry. To be honest, that's basically Herobrine. I know the character from many years ago, but I'm not sure what that was referring to. I mean, that's the downside to when I talk so long about a specific thing, because then a whole bunch of other things pile up in chat, and the actual comments on what was relevant now don't really mean that much to me, because I don't know what they were referencing exactly. 20 UFOs scientists have discovered since 1950, 2020, explained. Yeah. Yes, I mean, the thing is, with a thing like that, that can be a genuinely interesting thing. I mean, if the person is discussing various ways of doctoring photos, or bringing science to the table, as it were, like explaining away certain spots on photos in the sky, like with solar flares, and how those work, that can be such an interesting thing. But just judging from that title, I wouldn't click on that. I mean, if it was a normal, if it was a sentence, like, for example, discussing UFO photos, yeah, something as simple as that. Or maybe discussing, let's see, what was it? 1950, okay. So, or discussing half a century of UFO photos. I mean, that just sounds interesting to me. Yeah, and then I might genuinely click on that and watch the first few minutes, see if it was interesting, and then if the presenter, basically the guy who's presenting it, or person, I guess I should say if I wanted to be politically correct, which I won't get into again. This, I might watch the whole thing. I mean, and length really isn't an issue, because a lot of the time I listen to interesting things while I'm doing other work. So even if it's like 2 hours long, that video, then if it is interesting enough and the way it's presented is intellectual enough, well, not necessarily intellectual, but honest and respectful enough, then yeah, I would probably be happy. I mean, just the other day I watched a a documentary on the fall of civilizations of ancient Sumeria that was like, I think it was 3 hours long. And that was just really, really captivating. I actually learned quite a bit of that, which I did fact check with other sources on a lot of those things. And also in that documentary, everything turned out to, everything rang true, at least according to the other sources that I checked. For example, I learned that the Sumerians might have, the Sumerian Empire might have fallen because the continued canal projects pumping water from rivers into the desert for agriculture over the centuries caused salt to deposit there, which wasn't washed away by rain because it doesn't rain in this area, which is why they needed the canals in the first place, which then damaged crop yields over the centuries, which then meant that famines were becoming more and more frequent, which means that the armies, for example, aren't necessarily well fed, which means that, well, an army that doesn't have food is not really an army. And things like that, for example, yes, I mean, it makes so much sense. Yes, salt is in even fresh water. There is a certain amount of salt, and over hundreds of years of that depositing, yeah, that's going to harm wheat and barley, which were the main sources of food back then. And I mean, that is just so interesting. And I could watch 3 hours of that in the background, not necessarily in one sitting, but sometimes. But still, that is just so interesting to me, at least, and especially the way it was presented. Anyway, yeah. But that video had a really honest title. It was something like Fall of Civilizations, and then the straight line between, the separator line, not sure what it's actually called, and then Sumer. Yeah? Fall of Civilizations, Sumer. That's what it was about. Yes, every word was capitalized except for of, but that's okay because Fall of Civilizations is the title of the channel. So Fall of Civilizations, that's okay. And then Sumer, just one word, a name, that's also okay. Brilliant title. It worked. I clicked on it, I watched it, and I was happy with it. And I felt genuinely satisfied after I had watched it. Anyway, I think that was the title. It might have been something slightly different, but something along that vein. Yeah, I mean, they're all right as long as it's reasonable and the claims have evidence to support them. Shadows, to be fair, that subscribe or else is fine as long as it's clear it's a joke. Yeah, it is fine. Well, it's fine in the sense that I don't find it horrible. I mean, it's kind of... Okay, let me rephrase that. It's not as bad as it could be if it wasn't clear that it was not meant sincerely. So it could be worse, is I guess the best way of putting that. Shadows, Microsoft, not Mojang? Oh, no, yes, Mojang. Well, Mojang has been bought by Microsoft, so yes, you're right, Mojang are developing it. It's just Microsoft that owns the thing, but Mojang are still very much in creative control over Minecraft, as far as I know. But yes, you're right. And if they always say at the beginning, hey guys, this is Leader 20 here, be sure to leave a like, post, comment down below. I'd really appreciate it. It means a lot. Please hit that big red subscribe button below the video and don't forget to read the notification bell. Yes, that's what they always say, right? Don't forget to read the notification bell to get notified on all future videos of Team 20. Be sure to join my Discord. It's really cool. Don't forget to follow my Twitter and Instagram and blah 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 blah. It's so annoying. Yes, but luckily I barely ever have to deal with any of those channels, because I find that the channels that do that are mostly channels that are aimed at children. Like, for example, let's play videos of games. Like, for example, Minecraft is obviously a big one, because there's so many. Because I don't know why Minecraft has gotten this reputation of being a kid's game, because it genuinely isn't. Yes, I think that a child could have fun with it and do interesting things with it, the same as if you're playing with Legos, for example, or building a wooden railway. But Minecraft, in and of itself, I don't think is a kid's game. Because, I mean, if you just listen to Minecraft's music, I mean, Minecraft's music is so beautiful. It's so emotional and calm. It's, no, not necessarily, a lot of it isn't calm, but it's so beautiful that it doesn't scream kids game to me. And by that, I'm not saying that beautiful music isn't for kids, which I know what I just said could be misconstrued as that. But what I am saying is that what I understand as a kid's game, unfortunately, usually features any or all of the above. So, well, below, technically. So, like, very bright popping colors and cartoonified animals, like not necessarily teddy bears, but like plastic animals, like that kind of thing, and very uncomfortably squeaky voice, and a lot of hand holding, and really underestimating the intelligence of children as well. Just so much of that. So much. Oh, I should save, because yeah. Like, for example, the new 3D Thomas the Tank Engine stuff. I mean, that's definitely made for kids, which has kind of become a kind of derogatory title, at least for me. Like, if you say, oh, that thing is made for kids. If I said, oh, I found this really interesting game, it's made for kids, then unless you're a parent and I'm trying to recommend a game that would be appropriate for your child, if I'm just telling this to you, because you might be interested, then that kind of acts like a derogatory statement, right? Oh, it must not be worth anything then. I mean, it's made for kids, so it's probably a stupid little thing that is very uncomfortable to play and is constantly holding your hand and is boring. That's what you think of, probably, with that. Which I think is a very bad thing, because you should not underestimate children, because children are smart, they want to learn, they're curious, they're interested about all sorts of things, and they can figure a surprising, to some people, amount of stuff out. Which is why when people say that Minecraft is a kid's game, they usually mean that in that derogatory way. Like, if I said, if I said, oh, I've been playing Minecraft, then if somebody says, oh, you've been playing that kid's game, then they mean that in that derogatory way, which it just isn't. Yes, it's easy to see how kids might enjoy Minecraft, but if you actually think about it, there is really nothing about it that makes it a kid's game. Yeah, especially if you mean playing it outside of peaceful mode. So, okay, I'm just going to give you a quick information on what I mean. Like, okay, does this sound like a kid's game to you? You start the game up, you create a new world in survival mode, and you are placed in a huge world alone. There's nobody around, nobody like you. Yes, there are other what look kind of like humans, but you're alone, they're not like you. That's okay. Yes, being alone in this huge world, building your things, walking around them, exploring the world, things like that, can get really scary. But sure, fine. Let's say that's okay. Yeah, sure. That can be a standard kids game. But again, I'm not saying that this is not appropriate for children. I'm saying that it's not what you would commonly associate, what you would commonly think of as having a kids game label. Yeah, just to make that point clear again. Yes, and then if you're not playing on peaceful mode, it gets dark, and then monsters come out. You're alone in the dark, zombies come out chasing you, skeletons shooting bows hitting you, things crawling up behind you until they explode, destroying what you have so painstakingly built up over a long period of time, all of that work destroyed, and there's nobody there in the game, not even an NPC who could help you in any way, because you're alone, unless you're playing multiplayer, of course. But this is assuming that you're playing single player. Yeah, and you continue building, you rebuild, you manage to get over the emotional stress of having lost your hard work. Well, a thing that you've built, that you've put love and care and time into, to some monster that exploded it, committing suicide. Yeah, so then you continue. Eventually you manage to build a portal to the underworld, which I know in the last update they changed it quite a bit, but the original intent of that was to be a portal of a of a knockoff hell, essentially. Yeah. And even if kids don't really get it like that, it is a scary place. It's very dangerous. You can easily die there if you're not playing in peaceful mode. And then eventually you manage to get another portal. You go to a different dimension and there is a dragon. A dragon that is so intent on killing you that it can fly through blocks. You're there, but the first thing you do, you're on an island. You can't go outside. There's just void, blackness around you. So, you try to hide. You dig yourself in. What happens? The dragon flies through blocks, harming you. The dragon can kill you. You can't hide from it. Then you think, okay, I can't hide from it. I want to run away. I want to get away from this thing. Maybe you didn't know what was going to happen. You jumped through the portal, now you're here. Well, you can't run away. There is no way of getting back without killing the dragon. Well, that's not entirely true. Yes, there is, and that's dying. You're desperately trying to run away or hide, and then the dragon eventually kills you. Or if it's not the dragon, then it's the huge amount of Endermen, which, if you don't know, are these very thin... actually, no, I'm doing this wrong. I need to change the rotation of the pattern to match this close, and I need to... actually, the size... I'll increase the scale a little bit. Yeah, so they're these completely pitch black figures. And by the way, by black, I mean legitimately RGB 0000 black, like coal black, no light escapes, with glowing purple eyes that, if you look at them, they emit these terrifying shrieks as they chase you. Their head opening with basically by their jaw, their upper head opening, chasing you, shaking. And there are hundreds of these on this island. And so you're desperately trying to escape this whole thing, but you can't. So either you get over the trauma of that and manage to somehow kill the dragon if you were fortunate enough to come prepared to be able to kill the dragon, but more likely than not, you are going to be chased through this dimension until you are killed. At which point you will respawn at your bed, having lost everything you had on you. Everything you've worked for. Those tools made from the diamonds that you had been so happy and excited to have finally found after hours of digging in a mine shaft, facing all sorts of zombies and creatures to get those diamonds. Those tools you've made from those are gone. You can't retrieve them. You can't run back to get them, because to do that you would have to go back to the place you can't escape from without killing the dragon. So what do? Either you stop playing Minecraft, or so you give up, or you come back, you spend more time gathering resources, digging in the mineshaft, getting your tools, upgrading them, and then you have to be brave enough to go back through that portal to face that dragon. And you likely have to do this several times, unless you manage to defeat the dragon one of the first times, which I doubt you will, judging from the way that I think the dragon fight works, until you finally beat it, in which case the portal will appear for you to be able to get back, and then you get a poem. That's a bit strange. You get a poem of these two godlike entities talking about the player. Not just the player character, but the player. And they're talking about the dream of life and all of the challenges that the player has overcome to get to this point, and all of the things they've done along the way, and the value of life, and is telling the player to finally wake up out of the dream that is the game. At this point, they're talking to you, the actual player. They're telling you to wake up from playing the game and realize that you are in an actual world. And that poem goes on for quite a few minutes. It's a conversation. It speaks of the meaning of life and things of that nature until it respawns you back at your bed. This time you have all your stuff. You're back in the world. In the world you've spent so many hours to create. But the game is now over. Yes, you can continue. You can unlock more things, get more stuff. But now the game has told you that it's over and you should wake up. And then you're seriously telling me that a game like that is a kid's game? Really? A game like that? Seriously? And I haven't even touched on the animal cruelty that you can perform in that. That it is true that if you're playing in non-peaceful survival thing, you have to eat. And yes, there are animals which you can slaughter to get their meat to eat. Yes, there are vegetarian options as well. But that is an option, and the most efficient way of doing that is to cram them in a small space, breed them, slaughter them, then eat them. And you're seriously telling me that that entire game is made for kids? Yeah, I don't see that. Anyway, I didn't really mean to talk that long about Minecraft. I guess I just had a lot to say about that. Anyway, let me just continue. And by the way, Minecraft was like that before Microsoft bought it. So if you think that Microsoft had some agenda in trying to condition kids by exposing them to that world and being alone in that situation most of the time, then that's not true, because Minecraft was that way before Mojang got a hold of it. Yes, Minecraft has peaceful mode. You can turn all of the bad stuff off. I say bad stuff, I meant more traumatizing stuff, I guess you could call it. Which, yes, can be bad, but that bad's subjective, so I didn't want to use that word. You can turn that off, and it's quite an enjoyable game. If you're in peaceful mode, you're just building things, at least for me, or creative mode. But different people have different opinions on that. I don't want to get into all of that at the moment. I just thought I'd mention that just for the sake of completing the presentation, so that you don't just get one side, you also get kind of the other side of it a bit. Anyway. So annoying. Yes, that's the reason why I went on that in the first place, which is that these content creators for some reason, Minecraft is such a popular subject for content creators to make content aimed at kids. The kind of people who put all of the subscribe, like, comment, that whole thing on their videos. That is aimed for kids. Yes, they might say it's not, but kids are the most gullible audience, and thus the most likely to follow this, which is why, even if you read the comments, you'll probably quickly realize that yes, that content is made for kids, and a lot of that focuses on Minecraft, which is why I find it a bit odd why Minecraft is so popular with that regard. For made for kids, as seen in the traditional sense. I'm quite interested to reading the chat messages about what I've just said. / comments if you're watching this archived. That's not a call to action. It's just a thing I'm interested in. XD updates was the wrong word. Features then, my mistake. It wasn't a mistake because it was accurate to what they say. 10 updates that you didn't knew came with update 1.17. Enderman now drop eggs. OMG. Yeah. I saw the update too. Up there too, right. Here's up there. He's up there. Yeah. Get him down. Yeah. Shy Dice, one question. Will you put People Yeti on one of the mountains? Yes. I'm not sure if I've got that installed, but if I have, I can put it on now. I do. So let's just do this now. Let's just say sort of up here. Just kind of lurking behind a tree a little bit. I know he's a little bit in the ground. I'll put him up. Or her. I mean, she could be... I mean, if it's a Yeti, then this could quite easily be a she. And let's rename it to something like... Truth. Yeah, just rename it to Truth. Oh yes, I've not got it down at the moment. But yeah, just Truth. You can kind of spot it. Not really. Okay, I'm not gonna make it hide behind the tree. I'm actually going to put it down on the slope, just so that it's a bit easier to spot from down below. And I have actually renamed this one, right? Yes, Truth. There we go. I can just about see it from up there. Just about up there. There you go. To be honest, I'm not sure that a lot of people realize that they've made that mistake. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's so insidious, which is part of the reason why it's dangerous. Yes, it broadens the spectrum. What's the word? Superficial, of course. For some reason I started reading that as super fictional, but superficial entertainment. Superficial entertainment, wow. What do you mean by turn your brain off? By turn your brain off, I mean you stop thinking about things. You hear what people are saying, and in the moment you are thinking with what they're saying. It's kind of a stream that you're receiving, but you're not thinking about, like, really thinking about it. Like, okay, like for example, if you're, actually one second, I will just search for what I want to do next. Right, grass climb. Right, so, like, if you're really tired, yeah, if you're really tired, you're about to fall asleep, and you're watching a film or TV or whatever, then in the moment, you're thinking about the stuff that's going on. You are recognizing the things that are happening. You are experiencing them. But the next day, you will likely have forgotten all of that. That is one way of turning your brain off. In that case, you're too tired for your brain to be on. But the other way of turning your brain off is... well, here's an example. School. Yeah, history or whatever. In history in school. Let's get back to Christopher Columbus. Yeah? Sure, Christopher Columbus, why not? So, for example, if in schools the teacher says that back then people thought that the world was round, and Christopher Columbus, through his... he was sure that the world was round. You know, people thought the world was flat. Sorry, I might have misspoke. Christopher Columbus was convinced that the world was round, and he set out to prove that the world was round by going the other way to discover Asia. He wanted to get the other way around to go to Asia. Then, if you've got your brain turned off, then you're just going to accept that as true. Yeah, okay, that's how it was. And then you listen to the next thing, and the next thing, it just goes on and on and on. But if you think about it, then it doesn't really make sense. Now, what's the best way of putting this? Right, so... right, so the... Actually, no. Sorry, that's a bad example. Because in that example, so little information was actually given that it would make sense if you didn't know any outside information. Because what I was about to say relied on the fact that you knew certain bits of outside information from this, which is why it isn't a great example. But, so let me just change the example. Let's change the example. It's quite quite difficult to think of an example at this point. Because, I mean, obviously there are modern examples of this, like things that are going on right now, but I really don't want to get into those things at the moment. Okay, well, let's use YouTube videos, because that was the context in which I had originally said that you turn your brain off, so it would be good to use that as an example, because that's the thing. Yeah, so... Okay, let's say that you've got some time to yourself. You don't need to do any schoolwork or other stuff, you've just got free time. So then you go to YouTube because you think that, well, yes, you could do something productive, but then that is a lot of effort, and then you're lazy and you don't really want to get started with that, and then you don't do it, so you go to YouTube because you want to be entertained. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Entertainment is good to a certain extent. I mean, if you're using only free time, all of your free time for entertainment, then that's obviously concerning. But let's say, okay, entertainment. So you go to YouTube, you see some video, you click on it, it's like 15 minutes, you watch it, and then let's say it's about the Minecraft thing with the update, and it's saying all of those things about the update, and okay, I've not really constructed this very well, because I'm having trouble putting my thoughts into words. So, what would be the best way of putting this? Because it's so easy to misunderstand what I'm trying to say. It's the game show phenomenon. The game show phenomenon. That's a perfect example. Perfect example. Well, maybe not perfect, but it's an okay example. Game shows. There is no, like, for example, where people are. Okay, so the premise of, I'm just gonna make up a game show. Maybe this is an actual one. I don't know. I don't watch game shows, but this is an actual one. So if you, say a game show where there are X number of contestants and the game is that the presentator, I'm just going to say presentator. If presentator is the wrong word, then that's okay, you know what I mean. Right, so the game is that the presentator says that that the people who are the contestants have to guess the number of miles that a car has driven. So they've got like 5 cars on stage. Yeah, 5 cars. And the participants, the contestants have to guess how many miles each car has driven, and the person who the person who gets the closest then wins the car. Yeah? I mean, that sounds fairly realistic, at least based on what my understanding of game shows is, which is admittedly very limited. So then, if you think of it, if you water that down to its absolute basics, then it's just a guessing game, because you don't know how many miles they've been driven. The paint job might be a clue, or how used the tires are, but that can all be manipulated, so it's just guessing. So it's like 5,000 miles. Then just 5,000 miles, 3,000 miles, 10,000 miles, however many people there are, however many contestants, and then for one car, and then the answer is 9,000 miles. Okay, this means you were the closest, you get it. Next car. Then over and over. Okay, how many miles? 3,000 miles, 4,000 miles, 400,000 miles. The answer is 2 miles. You got the car, and so on and so on and so on. You can imagine just how boring that is. I mean, that is just so boring. But then, in the game show, they have a set with sparkling lights in the background, and they've got music in the background, and a live audience, well, maybe live audience, maybe just a recording of a live audience, that laugh and clap or boo when people answer wrong questions or things like that, and they've got a ticking clock, and they zoom in on the faces. Oh, tension, what will they say? Is it like 5,000 miles or 6,000 miles? And then the presentator, a close-up as he's got the cards, and he walks over, pulls out the card, he reads it, puts it back, and it says, the answer is 2,000 miles, and the winner is Miss whatever. And then she's very, very excited. She gets up and she's just squealing out of excitement. And as she runs over and then caresses the car for some reason, and then the other people, there's a close-up on the other people who are disappointed and who are angry that they lost, they weren't good enough, and that sort of thing. And you watch that in television, yeah? But the thing is, with those things, you've got your brain turned off when you watch them. Because if you had it turned on, you would realize how boring what's actually happening is. It's just so boring, and it's a waste of time. Your time is so incredibly precious, because that's the one resource you only have a very limited amount of. And you could be doing so many things. You could be improving a skill. You could be learning something interesting. you could be learning about any subject. Like, for example, you could be learning about trains or ancient history, like the Bronze Age collapse and who the sea peoples were. You could be even watching a movie like something that makes you laugh, something that like that, or maybe an interesting movie. But if you're watching a game show like that one, like the one I've just made up, then for you to enjoy it, you cannot be thinking about it, because as soon as you think about it, you realize it's a waste of time and you can no longer enjoy it. Which means that you have to turn your brain off, meaning you can't actively think about what you're currently doing, what's going on, and those kind of things while watching this. Yeah? And sorry if you're claiming that I'm raging again, which I don't think I am. If I was raging, I think there'd be a lot more shouting involved. I'm stating a point passionately, but I wouldn't say I'm raging. So that's essentially what I mean by turning your brain off. It took a while to get there, but I think I got there in the end. And by the way, if you really love game shows, then, well, I stand by what I said. Yes, if you have a different opinion, then that's okay. If you want to talk with me about that, then feel free to do so. Yes, I encourage conversation and talking about things like this. So, yes, just know I didn't mean to offend you, obviously. But I'm also not backing down on my opinion without any conversation beforehand. But that should be obvious. Shy Dice, that's the great thing about your streams. You should make that your tagline. Shy Dice, keeping people's brains up and running since June 2020. I mean, that is quite the compliment. That is quite the compliment. Although that is quite a big burden to bear, I think. Like capitalizing traits, yes. Yeah, proper nouns. Also, by the way, did you read the actual title of this stream? Because I don't think anybody has mentioned it yet, unless I've been mistaken, unless I haven't read it yet. But go ahead and read it. Tell me what you think. 12 horrifying mistakes that went into this video. I forgot to edit it out. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Exactly that sort of thing. Like to actually click on that, you have to turn your brain off. Because if you've turned your brain off, it's like, oh, that's going to be so embarrassing. I wonder what horrible mistakes could have been. Oh, and you forgot to edit it out. So it's in the video. I can see those embarrassing things. I wonder what they are. And you click on that. If you've got your brain turned on, you think, oh, wait. Okay. So he's forgot to edit that out. Okay. Then why doesn't he delete the video, then edit it out, then re-upload it? Obviously, and he's advertising that, which means he wants you to see it, which means that forgetting to edit it out isn't true, mistake isn't true, because it's obviously intentional, at least now in the way that he wants you to see it, which means the title is lying to you, which means that it's clickbait, which means that the video is probably garbage, so you shouldn't click on it. And that's again the difference between having your brain turned on and your brain turned off. Blech. Blech. Oh yes. Yes, Kango Fango. Blech. Sell out. Never mind. It was a long time ago. XD. Again, I have no idea what that's referencing. Herobrine sighting 2020. Oh my god, he wasn't removed after all. So scary. Move over cutlery. Science is now on the table. Oh, I see. Although, to be fair, that could be quite an interesting title. Especially since it's capitalized properly. Presentator. Yeah, good. 2 hours 57:43, wasn't it? I have no idea. Oh, the length of the video. That could be it. I have no idea. You mean the thing about the Sumerians? That could easily be that. Although every Minecraft update has said remove Terabyte apart from the most recent one, which is interesting to say the least. Could be. I mean, if it were my game, then yes, that would definitely be a hint that I've put that in secretly. Yeah, maybe. Not sure. Oh, I see. I've heard about the remove Terabyte update changelog entry, but I didn't know it was on that many updates. You know, this is actually really fascinating. I'm now reading the comments to when I was still talking about Minecraft all the way back in the depths of history. And by the time I get to the actual things about what I'm currently saying, they'll be out of date again. But that's kind of the price for actually getting into some subjects. Yep. And as far as I know, it all started with the fabricated situation on a Twitch stream. Actually, I don't think so. I think that originally it was because I actually watched a Unity presentation on how. Actually, I should probably get to placing my grass. A Unity presentation at GDC. I think it was GDC, Game Developers Conference, about how to do voxel things and things in Minecraft, and they actually touched on Herobrine, metaphorically. And they said that originally Minecraft was loading chunks in such a way that it loads the chunks ahead of you, then moves the world back, and then unloads chunks behind you. But there was a bug that it had to do with lag, that if there was a certain amount of lag while it was loading and moving chunks, it could duplicate the player, which was in the one chunk, and then move that duplicate back, which means that you could see a copy of yourself in an adjacent chunk while you were moving around, so you saw the copy moving around as well. And then when you enter that chunk, it would update the chunk because it moves it back, and then that copy would disappear because it's not actually there. And they said that that is where the legend of Herobrine came from. That people encountered that bug and they thought they saw another person running around the world, interacting with the environment, jumping, looking around, that disappeared when you got close. And then, on top of that, given that back then, I'm talking like 2011, 2012, that sort of range, Minecraft is actually surprisingly graphically intensive, because those are a lot of polygons that it has to render, a lot more than other games that have smoother faces, smoother polygons, less polygons, which means that for a lot of the computers of the age, a lot of laptops of the age, you really had to turn the render settings down to be able to run it without it lagging that much. Which means that, I don't know if you know this about Minecraft, but if you turn the render settings down, it doesn't just cut off. There's a fog effect to your edge of your render distance. If you go back, if you've got too much lag. Okay, so you're running it back all the way back then. It's a very small game. There's not a lot of knowledge about how it works, what's in the game. It's still a mysterious game. So you want to play it, but it's too laggy. So you turn the render distance down, so the lag is just bearable enough. You walk around your now foggy world, and then it lags just as you're entering a new chunk, and then you see a figure out in the fog. You're startled, you freeze. You try to get closer, and as you try to get closer, the figure starts walking. You get closer and closer, and then the figure disappears. I can see how that could spawn some interesting forum threads online, which is what they said happened because of Herobrine. Not sure how to pronounce it though. Yep. And as far as I know, it also... Yeah, right. Oh, didn't know about that either. Gamer! What about it? Never mind. Boston Dynamics are owned by Google. What do Boston Dynamics have to do with... Oh, no. Right. Grammar. Right, not gamer. I thought gamer because he didn't know the thing about Herobrine. Grammar. Right. I did catch that. I know that you've already typed that I misread it, but I got it. I read it correctly. Red, yes, definitely. Well, Minecraft is a 7+ or something, I think. Is 7+ of them. Yeah, but that's, I think, just because everything is so abstracted. Which doesn't change the core facts of what happens in the game. It just makes it more pleasant to look at. Like, for example, when animals are slaughtered. Yeah, you don't get all of the blood splattering. You don't get the crunch of bones, and you don't get the decapitation And you don't get the skinning and the breaking of bones and removal of organs and excrements that are still within the cow's body that then ooze out as the now corpse releases its muscles, including of orifices. You don't get all of that. It's just you hit the cow, it goes red, falls over, and then disappears. Just the cow model just tips over, and that's fine. You get and the items pop out, the meat nicely cut, as you see it in a butcher's shop, for example. So it's more pleasant to look at, but that doesn't change the fact of what's just happened. But I think that's why it's the low age rating. I see. Oh, and by the way, sorry if I caused you nightmares if you're watching this now, but that is the reality of animals that get slaughtered. It's not pretty, it's not nice, and yet it's all hidden away for the most part. I see. Yeah, the music is really nice. Yes, I really like the music in Minecraft. Oops, it scrolled far too far. Sometimes it does that. It's really nice. It's always good to have a firm grip on your choice of words. Yes, that's true. Well, Minecraft is a game for pretty much everyone. It's just that 7+ is the recommended minimum age. Yes. Hello, Shadice. I've decided to return. I've finished what I am doing, but hello. You have finished what you're doing, but hello. Interesting. Hello, welcome back. Yo, Shadice. Animals in all the colors of the rainbow. Hello, yes, hello. Look behind you. Oh, there's nothing there. It's probably because that's already an old message. Sorry if I missed you. I've actually not heard Minecraft being called a kid's game. Well, yeah, it is being called a kid's game a lot in popular media. A lot. Originally it didn't have that reputation, but then it kind of got that reputation. I don't know how. Probably because of YouTube videos being aimed at young children about Minecraft, because it looks very appealing to young children, probably. I don't know. I love Minecraft. Yes, you said so. Hell yeah. Shadice. Oh yeah. Minecraft can be creepy. The spiders and Enderman in particular, and the cave music. The cave music, yes. How is that a kid's game, really? Survival is 10 times better than creative, and hardcore is 2,222 times better. Now, with that, the important thing is it 2,222 times better than survival, or 2,222 times better than creative? That is the question. But clever, everyone. Shadice, there's a surprising amount of lore in Minecraft, especially in the newer updates. Oh, that's interesting. Don't really know much about that. XD, yeah, here we go. Shadice, look behind you. Oh, there's a spider there. Oh, 1 second. Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. There. Do you see the spider? Do you think there was actually a spider there? Because if so, then thank you. I appreciate the compliment of my acting. You made towards my acting. Shooting bows? Not shooting arrows? Right. That is... that you're right. You're absolutely right. You shoot the arrows, but you release the bow. But releasing bows doesn't sound as dramatic as shooting bows. Like you also say, you shoot a gun, even though you're actually shooting bullets out of it. Most cases, you're right. I misspoke. I was just I didn't think about that much. It'll be quite a while until he gets to see that message. Yes. Yell. Yep. Endermen are basically Slenderman knockoffs. Yep, you're right. Shadice, dude, you would be an amazing narrator for horror stories. Thank you. Your home bed was missing or obstructed. I mean, that's always a scary one. Everyone would be shaking. Yeah, the Endermen are shaking. Or did I miss... Oh, right, because the horror movie narrator thing, right? How far do you reckon he's behind on the chat? Actually, you know exactly where I am on the chat. Shadows, to be fair, that poem is really nice. Yeah, it is. But that just goes to show you the mature ideas and concepts that are in actual Minecraft. Yes, the newer updates are probably more focused towards Minecraft's main player base, which is quite young. But originally, Minecraft had a more complicated. What's the word I'm looking for? Not lore. Meaning, I guess is the best word. 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles, yeah. Shadows, I have never called it a kid's game, and I never will. 2 exclamation marks. Okay, Shadows, nope. It's not about waking up from the game. Game theory stated that it's more likely to be, as far as I can remember, it's about don't listen to who's telling you to wake up, because whatever you enjoy doing is never a waste. Yeah. I think one of the appealing things that stories, and especially poems, have is that they're open for interpretation. Because that statement that as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, it's the right thing to spend your time doing, sounds good on the surface, but then you think about other things, like, for example, drug abuse. While you're doing it, it feels great, and I'm not speaking from experience. The chemicals released in your mind are the same chemicals that you get from satisfaction, when you do something good, when you manage to do something that you feel good about. So that feels great. So by that logic, that would be a good thing to spend your time doing. Yeah, as long as you're enjoying it, it's good. Or if you spend all of your free time on YouTube and you're enjoying it because it's superficially entertaining, then, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yes, you might look up 5 minutes later, realize that 10 years have gone by, you've wasted all of that precious time doing something because you were enjoying it, and now that time is gone. Now it's gone, and was that right then? Because you did enjoy it. Or how about going the other way around? You do something you don't enjoy. Like, for example, okay, here's one. For example, say you've got stage fright. Yeah, you've got stage fright, and you were talked into doing a small play, like a little local village play, something like that. And you've prepared, and then you go on stage, and it is so scary to you. You are so frightened. You hate this. Being out there on stage, you're nervous. You're worried you're not going to remember your lines. You're worried about letting down the rest of the cast, your friends, the people who rely on you, and you don't want to be there. It is so uncomfortable, so scary. You are so nervous. You don't want to be there. It is not enjoyable at all. But then you do it. You play the scenes. You speak your lines. Yes, you might mess up. You might freeze and think that you're scared to death because it's happened. You've messed something up. But then one of the other cast improvises. She says something that brings you back on track. She says something that reminds you of what you should be doing. She maybe gives you a smile, or he gives you a smile of confidence, and you end your scene and people applaud. And then when the play is over, someone comes up to you and says, I really enjoyed your performance. And then you've suddenly gotten over your stage fright. You did it. You did the thing that was really unpleasant to you, but now you're free of that fear. You've done something. So I think that even though superficially, the thing that as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, it's okay, it's good, does sound right if you think about it. It really very rarely is. It really very, very rarely is. Which is why I think that a game into which it is so easy to sink that amount of time into, which is sophisticated enough to have a poem at the end, would probably not have that message. But that is just my interpretation of that poem. That's just my interpretation of it, and that is the beauty of that. You can have multiple interpretations of it, and maybe one of them is the true right way that it's meant to be interpreted, but maybe none of them are right. Maybe the importance of it is just what the poem means to you and what you get from it. I think this is where I'm going to have my thumbnail. So if I forget, then please remind me. It's never a waste. Trainz, I think it's mostly the graphics. Very passionate, aren't you? Yes? Yes, you're right. I am. Trainz, before Mojang got a hold of it, I think you meant Microsoft. Oh, right. Yes, you're right. Oh, geez, he's off again. Also, contempt creators. Oh, I meant content creators, not contempt creators. Even though some content creators are definitely contempt creators. Not again. Oh, you've got the Yeti. Oh, that's where we're at now. Oh, I'm quite a lot behind then. Right. No one type anything in chat. Let him catch up. Shadows has found a new home for you, Yeti. You don't have to live in the Black Forest anymore. Yeah. Because if you didn't know, there was a Trainz route called the Black Forest. It was a very small route, a very good route as well, that came with Trainz many, many, many years ago. And that Yeti object was actually placed on that route. I'm not sure if it was made for that route, but it was placed on that route. Yeah. Let me just read chat a bit more. And yeah, I mean, this is the truth of it. I love the interaction with chat, but it does mean that for periods of time, I will have to just put the camera to a nice view like this, and then let you watch that while I'm just catching up on chat. But I think that's fine. Because, I mean, that's a large part of the entertainment that these streams provide comes from, I think. At least for me. Truth. That's so perfect. I'm trying to send a really long message, but it doesn't let me. Yeah, then you have to split it up into several parts. They just buy into it all, not knowing what they're doing. I have no idea what that's about. I'd split it then, yes. Oh, I've lost the next message again. It's just, when you type, when you scroll, sometimes it just scrolls too far. And I'm using a trackball as well. I have no idea. Is how Minecraft, that's how Minecraft works. You spawn into a new world, chop down trees, make a crafting table and sticks, then use the crafting table to make a wooden pickaxe, mine 3 paces of cobblestone, make a stone pickaxe, mine more stone, make the rest of the stone tools, then go to a cave and get some coal and iron, make a furnace and the cobblestone. With the cobblestone, then use the stone pickaxe, strip mine at Y level 12, get diamonds. Mine them with an iron pickaxe in the furnace, and yes, you have to eat Use those diamonds to make tools, kill Endermen, go to the nether and find a fortress, kill blazes, use the Eyes of Ender to find the stronghold, fill in the eyes and kill the dragon. Yeah, I think that's a good summary of what the intended gameplay cycle is for Minecraft in non-creative or peaceful mode, if you just want to go from beginning to end without creating your own meaning in the game. Here we go again. XD. Yeah. What chat? Somerset. Miss W. Shout Ice and Kangafango. Shout Ice. You just skipped our 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. No, sorry, I miscounted. So it needs to start again. 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0th messages. He didn't skip over any. He's a bit less than halfway through at the moment. Oh wow. Okay. Devil face. I am a demon from hell. You might want to get that checked out. Oh, that's news. Look behind you. Hello, Kagfango, how are you? Shout Eyes, yes. The game show thing is boring. I was already bored when you said it. Well, then I did my... Well, I was about to say my job, but I'm not going to be getting paid for this, so I did what I was intending to do. Drumroll! Yes, drumroll, absolutely. To be honest, that's a very old type of game show. Yes, but that exact same type of superficial entertainment that you need to turn your brain off to enjoy is exactly what most of YouTube is right now. It's not exactly the same format, of course, but the same kind of thing, the same effect. But yes, you're right, that's a very old type of game show. Shadows, they're far more realistic now. Yes, but being more realistic doesn't necessarily mean that it's any more intellectually stimulating, whether that is because it's just interesting, or it has interesting facts, or it's just entertaining in a clever way, or because it tells a good story, or whatever. Yeah, just to make sure, by saying intellectually entertaining, I don't necessarily mean in terms of, oh, I'm reading this very pretentious book right here, I'm being intellectually entertained. No, I mean something that you have to turn your brain on to enjoy. I wouldn't know. I don't watch them either. Shadows, you're so right. Yeah, it wasn't raging. Good, I'm glad you agree. Shadows, I don't think you've ever raged on stream before. Don't think I have either. At least not so far. At least not so far, yeah. Shadows, if you want to talk to me about your opinion on game shows, leave a comment below. Now, that sounds like the sort of thing that has just such a bad reputation. But the thing is, I genuinely enjoy conversation, as you can probably tell, which means that if you want to talk to me about that, then yes, leaving a comment below when this is archived would be a good way of doing that. It just, me saying that just has so many bad things attached to it, so many bad things anchored to it, that you immediately switch off. You think, oh right, he's begging for attention, oh yeah, sure, whatever, even though it's a genuine interest I'm showing. Anyway, Shut Eyes, I just read the title. Shut Eyes, I've read it, I just forgot to mention it. Very good, 10 out of 10, great. Yes. Presenter, yeah, not presentator. Well, presentator sounds fun. Oh yeah, but presentator is funny, yeah, I was about to say that, yeah. 75% of this part of the stream will be Shadows reading our messages. Yeah, that's okay. Yes, the route might take another 20 years to be completed, but that's okay. No, don't worry. I mean, if it takes way too long, I'll just not make the route as long as I would have otherwise made it, but I'm not going to drag this project out for absolutely ages. Shadows, look behind you. Oh, so that's above me, sorry. Oh! Shoo! no, go away. No. Yeah, crawl back into the hole. Yeah, all right. Close the door. Right. Thanks for letting me know that. I'm not even sure what to call it. What are you called? Oh, all right. That the Schinknu had gotten out. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really like to go out in the dark. If he had seen that it's nighttime, he would have been so scared, and I would have had to comfort him the whole night. Yeah, he's really afraid of the dark. Thanks for letting me know. I'm gonna read back in time. I'm gonna read back in time. Minecraft Let's Play number 234. I touched Herobrine. Oh my god. Oh, that's not sung. Alright. Minecraft Let's Play number 234. I touched Herobrine. OMG. Typo on purpose. Yeah. I've literally deleted the apostrophe afterwards. I see. XD. Family reminder just after you told me to. Shadows, did you say content creators? I just said also contempt. Oh, you did say content creators. I just said also contempt creators because those also play a part. Oh, right. Yeah, I probably misread it then. Shadows, and the thing about acting, yes, it's generally a better choice than watching game shows on /or YouTube. It depends on what you're watching. I mean, with acting and with getting over things like stage fright, I agree. But YouTube is such a great platform for learning as well. Because if you want to learn a particular subject, say you want to take on game development, then you can do that. You can go to YouTube, you can find countless tutorials on how to get into various aspects of game development, things like that, and you can learn so much on that. Or you can post funny things, like genuinely, what's what I'm looking for? Like non-superficial entertainment as well. Like, for example, a channel called Door Monster. They've done a lot of skits, a lot of gag videos, and they put a lot of energy and commitment and love into those things. And yes, it's purely entertainment, but they do it in a clever way, and in a way that you do have to think about what you're watching. And they even do a lot of time travel things and paradoxes and all that sort of thing as well. So YouTube can be a great platform for that. But most of the stuff on YouTube just isn't. Anyway. Wait, I think it scrolled down again. Yeah, I did scroll down again. Oh, we've gone past 11 o'clock. Right, so... Okay, I'll need to finish doing the grass later, so I'll put the camera back to where I wanted to take the screenshot for the thumbnail. Actually, I'll hide that. Actually, I'll go into fly mode, just so that I can position this correctly. So actually, no, a bit closer down, I think it was. A bit closer still. Something like this, I think, is good. Maybe a bit further down there. It was... something like this, I think, might be good. Sure. So I'll just read chat, and then I'll end the stream. And it's skipped down again. Has it? No, it hasn't. It's skipped up this time. That is so buggy. That is so buggy. Alright, there we go. I deleted the thing. Would you like my world famous invisible cookies? What do you mean? Yes, please. I don't understand. It's a thing they have going on with the invisible cookies. Thanks. Okay, here I go. Shy dice. One sec, let me just scroll down a little bit. Hopefully it won't bug out again. There we go. Shy dice. Also, thanks for the compliment about the cutlery thing. Haha. You're welcome. Mr. W, I've typed let's instead of let's. Clarify what I meant. Yeah. Thanks. No problem. Mr. W said grammar, not gamer. Aha! I knew it. I knew it. I knew you would type the correction. If you remember, I said I said that. I said it. I knew it. I knew it. You're quick on the keyboard. You're quick on the keyboard. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, I did. Got you. Actually, no. Got you. Shy Dice. To be honest, I can't remember where it came from. No, not again. It's so funny reading no, not again all the time without knowing what it's referring to exactly. I'm gonna go for a bit. Okay, bye Anthony. Yeah, they only fall over and the items appear. Anthony starts, alright, bye. I hear a tawny owl. Oh, that's so nice. Shy Dice, he's gone now. Shy Dice, the rainbow animals thing was referring to the stereotypical kids games. Oh, right, I see. YouTubers dumb the game down for kids, and people seeing those videos often think the game is dumb too. You're probably right. Shy Dice, yeah, Minecraft's lore. Game Theory has done a few videos on it. It's relatively interesting. Yeah, given how much... I probably will not look at that, because it just doesn't interest me that much. Shy Dice, I didn't believe in the spider, but to be fair, the act was improvised. Yeah, thanks. Shy Dice, horror movie? Horror stories. I did correct myself. Shy Dice, you know what I mean. Actually, I don't. I have no idea what that's referring to. Ms. W, also, sorry, I didn't see the message about not typing any more messages in chat. Oh, I see. 10 years? Wow, just felt like 10 minutes to me. Yeah, right. Thumbnail reminder just after you told me to. Yeah, again. Shy Dice, you did say content create. Oh, I must have missed all of those when it bugged out with the scrolling. Oh, I bet you've now told me that I've missed a whole bunch of messages, which I did actually read. I'm looking forward to reading that message. Or those messages. Shy Dice, and the thing about acting, yes, it's generally better than shows, blah, 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 for me at least. From my knowledge of game shows, at least. Shy Dice, the buying into it all was referring to genuine YouTubers saying the whole subscribe thing just because others do it. Yeah. Yeah, it does have bad things attached. Leave a comment below. Just makes me want to quit the Safari window right then and there. Yeah, you're right. XD. Shy Dice, Kninsiknu. Is he a friend or relative? No, Sninknu. Is he a friend or relative of Kninsiknu? Yes, actually they're half brothers. Mother was gnome on one side. Shy Dice, also, you missed a bunch of messages. Haha. I've got you again. Although, thank you for telling me that, because I do want you to continue to tell me that in the future, because I very easily could have just missed them, so thank you for telling me that. Just, I've got you. Messages, literally, thanks. Where is it? Between, I've literally deleted the apostrophe afterwards, XD, and that. Shy Dice, thanks for the quick on the keyboard thing. Yes. XDD, yeah, it is funny. Yeah, that's why I said relatively interesting. XDD, haha. Did you enjoy the messages? Yes, I did. I hope you were. I hope you have, probably, because if you weren't, well, I don't know what you mean. I don't know. I don't know. Shy Dice, wait, Kninsiknu was female though? I'm not sure. So they aren't half brothers, right? I don't know. The space. I've caught up. I've caught up with chat. We're enjoying the messages. Alright. Because you said, did you enjoy the messages? So the thing would be, I hope you have. Like, you have enjoyed the messages. Anyway, right. Let me just quickly save again. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Didn't. And we've gone 11 minutes overtime. I didn't really want to do that. But that's where we're at. So now let's quickly go over to this screen. And yeah. Wait, you're not sure? Welcome back to the present. Yes, it is quite a nice present to be back in the present. You could say I went back to the future. Orange skin, huge eyes. Yeah. Hey, I'm back. Did Paradise finish reading our messages? Look behind you, Paradise. Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm just finishing the stream. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, well, maybe next time. Okay, well, bye. Bye. Yes. Oh, remember to lock the door on your way out. Thank you. Yes. And by the way, yes, I have finished reading messages. The dialogue being sung? Maybe next year. I didn't say maybe next year, I said maybe next time. Did I say maybe next year? I didn't think I said maybe next year. Anyway. Yeah, bye. Good. Now I'm just extending. Yeah, that's a misquote. I see. Yeah, I'm now just extending this out artificially, which accidentally and artificially, which I don't want to do because I've already gone over time. So the stream is over. Just a few shoutouts at the end, and then you can all go if you want to. I mean, you could stay here and talk in chat while I'm offline, but you don't have to. So yes. So, Kango Fango, he does OMSI2 live streams and Trainz live streams. He shares them, one half that, one half the other thing. Very interesting, he does route building as well. And Slovak Eagle, who wasn't here this time, but he's part of the Central Europe development team, which is a route for Trainz. A huge route, he's part of that team. And he also does Trainz live streams, driving simulators, things like that. So, yes. Thank you all very much for watching. If you're watching this live, or indeed archived on one of the videos that is going to be archived, including this one, which means that let me just clarify that if you've got your brain turned off at the moment, this video is going to be archived on YouTube. So if you're watching on that, then that still applies. And yes, I'm actually quite hot at the moment, so I think I'm going to end the stream soon. So I'm just going to read the chats. Bye, thanks for the stream, thanks for the shout out, thanks for the great stream. It was great, bye. Yes, bye. Bye, see ya, bye. And thank you all for joining me. Yes, it was a lot of fun, I'm actually going to do a countdown from 20 seconds, just so that if people are on a delay, that they can see the rest of the stream, it doesn't cut out. So 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, what's after 11? 9, I think. 6, I don't know, something, 2, 1, 0, there we go. What hour is it? It's countdown hour, bye all.